Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the driving review of the Volvo XC40. So you might have seen the exterior and interior view. It's a pretty beautiful car. Volvo in general as a company is a beautiful company that stands for value, that stands for people, that stands for safety and quality. And that's what I love about Volvo. And today we're driving the compact SUV class, the entrance SUV model, and it's the XC40. We have an XC60 and an XC90 full review, outside, drive, inside, everything. You can check it, link in the description, or wait until the end of the video. So what I love about Volvos is, Volvo is always a very charismatic and character car. It is for people with character, When I see somebody driving a Volvo, I know this guy stands for something. It's like I can add a stereotype to somebody that is driving a Volvo. Most of the people that drive a Volvo, that choose to have that car, are dependable, are family oriented, are hardworking. If they drive an XC90, for example, T8 Recharge, the most expensive one, they're still very hardworking, very dependable people, strong people mentally, and always trying to kind of help the community, I feel. And I really like that about them. And I really like that about Volvo. It is a company that has value, that stands for something, and they never change its ways. The Volvo was founded in 1924, and since that day, since those two guys met in a restaurant in Stockholm, they are doing the same thing over and over. Did you know, for example, that the three-point belt was invented by Volvo? They patented it, and they decided, you know what? We want to make the world a better place. Let's cancel the patent so that everybody can use it in every car. You understand? So they didn't take the business, they took the idea and gave it to everybody for free. They waived the patent, man, just so everybody can be safe. That is Volvo. That is why I love Volvo, They don't care about the money in the first place. They care about the people. That's great. And that's why you have the man sign as the logo of the car. Not just any sign, they took the man sign, the man logo, and put it on all around the car. For men, for true men. That's why I love Volvo. And did you know that Volvo gave also the Lambda sound to the people in the 80s, I guess, 1979, I guess. And they also gave it away free. So Volvo is a true pioneer. That's why I love him. And here in the XC40, the spirit continues. So as I told you, it's the XC40 D3, which means we have a 2-liter diesel engine, 150 horsepower and 320 Newtonmeters of torque, front wheel drive, so it's going to be very ecological. There's of course a bunch of other models, a bunch of bigger cars, faster cars, and whatever. And Volvo is claiming fuel consumption on the Autobahn of about 4.9 liters. We tested that out. You will see the footage a little later. So we managed to do like a 5 liter. Now I'm hovering at 6 liters. You can choose from a couple of driving modes. You have a little button here: comfort, individual, dynamic, or eco, or off-road. Off-road is going to be something you need when you're driving off-road, of course, and you can only use it when you're driving under 50 kph. So that is something interesting. And all in all, the car just feels rock solid. Okay, it's a nice feel. Even in the entrance model, it's very comfortable. It's not loud in here. It is a good car. It has plenty of power. It has a good pull to it, so when you step on the throttle, it does something that's very good. So to find out how it is we are now on a Landley road, we could go to eco mode and really try to save as much fuel as possible, but we did that on the Autobahn part. But what I'm going to do here is I want to find out how dynamic is it actually. So overtaking maneuvers with a Volvo 150 horsepower, you might think that is not that good, but since the car is the entrance SUV, we have only 1.6 tons, so that should go good. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. It has a good pull, but it's not that powerful, you know. It's a diesel engine, it drives to 4,000 RPM, but the shifts happen pretty good. It really feels nice, but I wouldn't say a lot changes in dynamic mode. The only thing that changes is the steering wheel is a little bit more aggressive, and it lets the car sit in a lower gear. So you can also choose if you want to drive manual now. You do that with this little beautiful Swedish piece of art and crystal. You can go left to shift down and right to shift up. That's nice. But we will go into comfort mode, daily drive. No, let's go to eco mode, man. Let's go to eco mode or individual, because I put individual to the chillest settings, and eco and everything is set inside. Nice thing is it changes the speedometer, etc. when you go into eco mode, and it feels so light on the steering wheel. I really like the handling of the Volvo, because you know it's really not complicated. You know, you can tell exactly how fast the car is able to drive. It's not going to surprise you, and it's actually really a light SUV, so you can drive a little bit faster around corners. You really can. Of course, you have to be a little bit of a skilled driver to drive fast with a slow car, but it's possible. And anyway, Volvos, you know, Volvos are just kind of special to me, really. I can't tell you why, but I have a lot of sympathy for the company. Maybe because I'm also very hard working. You know, you see me always drive those supercars, but in my inner feelings, every time I sit in a Volvo, I can tell for who they built the car, man. It's really for the businessman that has a stress day and just wants relief when he sits in his car. So the Volvo XC40 2-liter D3 can accelerate from 0 to 100 in 9.9 seconds, which is solid slow, and tops out at 200 kph. So let's see how it does. 40, 60, 80, 100. Well, I wouldn't say that scared the passengers, but this is the entrance car. And we did it on purpose. We want the entrance car because this is a car that everybody can buy, or most of the people can buy. 25,000 bucks, 77,000 kilometers, still feels mint, fantastic shape, everything works fine, seats are comfortable. I like it. I like Volvos. I like them, especially they are the safest cars ever. You know, maybe some of the electric cars are now in the same spectrum, but in terms of internal combustion cars and in general car safety, Volvo is always under the top 3, if not the best. You know, they will save your family, and they saved millions of lives just by waiving the patent for the 3-point belt. I like Volvo, I like the spirit, and thank you very much, Volvo, for being a great piece of art. All right, we might have to check how the Autobahn performance is. For that, I have a couple of driving modes, and I will go to eco mode because I want to find out how easy or how the fuel consumption is actually on the Volvo XC40 D3. So we're driving a diesel, automatic, front wheel drive. Let's see what we can do. So Volvo claims 4.9 liters to 100 kilometers. And we are in a compact SUV. That would be brilliant, actually. That would really be good. We're driving a little bit uphill, and then we're going to check on the straight road how much the car actually uses in fuel. So let me see here. Maybe I can show you on the GoPro. All right, let's reset it. Let's give it a fair chance. Good. So now we have to accelerate to 120 kph. Again, gently. Accelerate gently because the car, the more you press the throttle, the more it's going to use fuel. And you have to, when you want to drive ecologically, you have to save with the beginning of the drive, not just while you're driving on the Autobahn. At the beginning of the drive, drive it gently, accelerate gently, really slow, even if you drive a V8, you can still drive comfortable, and it's most of the time it's not even the car, it's just the driver that's not capable of having a little bit more patience to drive easy. So that's what I noticed. Now we are at 120 kph. I won't exceed it. And something else, most of the cars today have a sailing mode, which means if you accelerate and it goes downhill, you just release the throttle and go into coasting mode, which is called in the Volvo XC40. So you really have to kind of watch out. It is a little bit of a challenge, but you can challenge yourself how much fuel you're going to use on your trip. Do it as gentle as possible, do it daily, and you will have a lower average fuel consumption, and it's going to save you a little bit of money. So I accelerated a little bit, it's going downhill, I'm going to coasting mode. As soon as I go under 115 kph, I will start to accelerate again a little bit, but you can tell now that we're going downhill, it is decelerating a little bit less aggressively. So let's accelerate to 120 kph again, gently, and let it coast for a little more. Then do the same thing. But the nice thing with Volvo is they are always thinking about the future, and they are thinking about making your life easier. And sitting in this car, it feels very comfortable. The seats are brilliant, and it's not loud. It's really not loud. It's a nice feel. And something that I really think is remarkable is most of the Volvo people are just those dependable men, you know? Very dependable, very family oriented, safety oriented, you know, men you can depend on, men you can lean on, and that are really going to do something good for the world, something positive for the world. They're not scumbags or anything, and you can really tell by the car what kind of character a person has. It's something very strange, but you know, when you find a Volvo appealing and you think that is going to be a great car for the family, or it's going to be a great car for yourself, you're probably going to be a more dependable human than somebody that is driving whatever, a BMW, for example. Okay, let's not say an X1, but an M4 maybe is a little bit of a different class than a Volvo. See that Range Rover driver? Perfect. If you see a big car in front of you and you want to save fuel, drive right behind it. Drive right behind it, because you're going to be in its in the wind slippage of its drive, of its car. So the wind resistance is not as big. So he overtaking me is actually a benefit, you know? Take it as it is. Think a little bit of how you can save fuel, and me driving behind a Range Rover is going to save me fuel because he's doing all the work. I'm just in his wind split, or whatever you call it, man, in his wind tunnel, whatever. Aerodynamic wise, this is really beneficial. Okay, so we managed to do a 5.2 liter, 5.1 now, coasting a little bit around in eco mode for the last 15 kilometers. So I think this is really not that bad. When you go out of the Autobahn, put it in gear. It does it automatically. You put it in gear so the engine can brake a little bit for you. It's simple. Saving money, saving fuel is simple. It's not that complicated. You just have to put your ego at home, all right? Put your ego at home. I'm kind of sad that they sold the company, because the Swedish people, they did a brilliant job here. Now the Chinese are in charge. I hope they do a good job like Volvo, like the Swedish did. But that's about everything we can say on the Volvo XC40. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you, and see you on the next one. Goodbye.